Okay, I guarantee this will make you skyrocket your playing. Everyone learns guitar this slowly. Well, not everyone, because you're going to adopt what's called a growth mindset. So I'm going to do 3 chords, G, D, and E minor. Okay, we're going to break this down using growth mindset. Now, I did get this idea quite a while ago. I saw John Mayer talking about this, and he didn't put it the way I'm going to put it to you, but this is exactly what he meant. You see a lot of us YouTubers on here, guitar players, and we break something down, but we don't show you how we're thinking. So I want you to do this. If we take a G chord, okay, and this is what John was saying, basically said, and if you've seen that video, let me know in the comments. He said, find the thing that built the thing you're doing. So if this represents the tip of an iceberg, G, D, and E minor, we're just memorizing these open chords. But let's start to dive below the surface. What you want to do is we'll just do this G chord, and then I want you to start thinking this way. Adopt a growth mindset, and you're gonna excel so fast. So watch. You're playing 6 strings, right? From low E to high E. I'm playing the G open chord. And there's a couple ways to play it. I play it like this, but watch. Have you ever thought, well, what notes am I actually playing there? Okay, first of all, what notes are even building this chord? Okay, there's a G, a B, then we do an open D, then there's an open G. I play that extra D, and then another G. So then you think to yourself, okay, I got G's, B's, and D's. So you're reverse engineering stuff by going below the surface. So G's, B's, and D's. Okay. So that's how we built this chord. Now, where does that come from? So then you got to start thinking, okay, I know some scales. Have I ever heard of intervals or triads? So then you use this information to go deeper, below the tip of the iceberg, okay? Because some people will be stuck in this their entire playing career and they'll be wondering why they're not progressing. So then I go, okay, here's a G major scale. Watch this. G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. Again, growth mindset, you need to put in the reps. You need to seek out the information, start small. So I go, okay, G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now if I take the tip of the iceberg, I know there's G's, B's, and D's, I go like this. Okay, so G's the root. Okay, you know you can move the root anywhere and play that pattern with your fingers and be in a different key and play that major scale. But we're talking about this G chord. We're trying to dive deeper, growth mindset. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, that third note, first to the third note, that is a first and third. Okay, so 1, 3, and we need a D. Do we play the 4th note out of the scale? C's not in the G open chord, but D is. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 3, 5. 1, 3, 5. So that's actually a triad. So then you start connecting the dots over time. You're really just reverse engineering everything and putting it all together in a way that makes sense to you. So yeah, you know a G chord, and I loved what John said too. He said something like, yeah, you know this chord, but you don't know the neck. You don't know the guitar. You memorize the chord, just like you memorize a song. Take 2 chords from a song you know and do what I'm showing you right here. So then I go 1, 3, 5, G, B, D, because there's G's, B's, and D's here. But this time, I just have 1 G, 1 B, 1 D. So what could I do right there, this musical? I could play a little riff. Believe me, it sounds pretty simple, but this is where you build it out. Now, also, if you know G, B, D, that is a triad. You've got to know triads. So I'll link a video at the end. I did playlists on major and minor, and I want you to recognize these shapes. So then you go around and like, let me break this surface level tip of the iceberg G chord, go below, go deeper, keep exploring. Where else can I find G's, B's, and D's on the neck? Okay, what if I went right here? See, G, B, D. G, B, D, okay? So look at that shape. And then you go, oh, that is a shape. G, B, D, G, B, D. So what could I do right now to grow as a guitar player, as a musician? And a lot of people, they don't have this. I want you to do this, and I want you to hit me back later and do this for like a week and tell me how much it's changed your playing. So then I go G open chord, maybe you want to do G triad, and then I want to do a little lick out of the scale. So you go G chord to triad and then a little lick. And don't worry if it sounds rough. Again, just like you're under the surface of the G, the tip of the iceberg, you're exploring underneath and you're trying to make it make sense. Now, another growth mindset thing is, and listen, you're actually doing theory in your own way. So you're kind of creating your own theory if you don't want to learn kind of the old school way, which I still love, but this is kind of how I think. I go, okay, what if we just did this? G to B, okay? Well, that is called an interval. When you only have two notes, that's a major third interval, okay? Where else can I find a G and B? Here. Okay. And then I have another G major scale right here. Okay, let's keep using a growth mindset. We said a GBD is a triad. Where else can we find? Maybe I want to find a GBD on the G, B, and high E string. So I go, okay, here's a G, here's a B, and here's a D. Little out of tune, okay? Getting a little cranky with me, okay? So what if we did this triad to the open chord, okay? Now you're making music. You're not just memorizing. You have an understanding. You're using the growth mindset as a guitar player. Okay? Now let's take it even deeper. Let's keep exploring. Well, if I know this is a G major triad, can I move this all the way up here? If I know this is the root, and if I just keep that shape, if I just go up here and I find, remember we said D was the second chord in our progression. We went D, G, D, E minor. So we're going G, B, D. Instead of playing our D open chord, tip of the iceberg, let's play the triad here, D. We're using growth mindset. We're going deeper. Now we're exploring how the D's broken down. You see how it all connects? Same shape, same strings we're on. Maybe you just get great practice flowing back and forth rhythmically. Rhythm is king always. Without that, you have nothing. Your house crumbles. Maybe you just do that and then do the open chords. Open chord, triad. See, right there, think about what we just did in about 7 minutes time here. I'm going to try and keep this under 10 minutes. Growth mindset. So I want you to really think about what you're doing, okay? Now, when we go to the E minor chord, so every time you play a chord and you strum it, whatever, it's an open chord, it doesn't matter what it is, think about all the notes in that chord and then find the thing that built that thing you're doing. This thing being the tip of the iceberg, E minor, there's an E, there's a B, there's an E, there's a G, there's a B, and there's an E. So, that's gonna tell me, light bulb, E, G, B is an E minor triad. Where can I find an E, G, and B? Well, look right here. E, G, B. So I could do my triads. Now I'm already a level above where I was before in a matter under 10 minutes. Look at this. To the D triad, to the minor. See how killer that is? That's how you start flowing around the neck, okay? And then when you throw in like scales and intervals. So again, one more tiny thing. Watch this. I'm just showing you how to think with a growth mindset. This is how you should think in life in general, but on guitar, it really accelerates your playing. So let's go back to this. If I knew this is a major third. So, okay, then I go, okay, what if I just knew that, okay? That's a major third, G and B. So I gotta think logically here. I gotta think with the growth mindset. I gotta think, oh, you know what? What if I find a G and a B in a different spot? That's a major third as well. Well, look right here. I go G, then I go to B here on the G string. So I go, and that's a different flavor than this. And again, we're just taking the tip of the iceberg. You can dive so deep, and then you just keep branching out, okay? You can take the G major scale, and if you've never heard of a major pentatonic, why don't you figure out what you need to take away from this scale to make it 5-note scale. Right now it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then repeating on the octave. We take away the 4th and the 7th note, and we go, okay? You see how you're using a growth mindset? And then you take it deeper. You keep exploring below the surface. Now you're looking at that big hunk of iceberg below your G. All of this from just taking one chord that some players have memorized and they never branch out from there. And I go, okay, if I'm going major pentatonic, if I'm going G, A, B, D, E, G, why can't I go like this? G, A, B, D, And now I'm moving my major pentatonic up the neck. Watch. That's. And every single thing I did right there is because I adopted a growth mindset, and I tried to make sure that I was honing in on what built the thing I'm doing. So do this. To wrap this up, take one chord, look at every note in that chord, and then figure out in your brain, you might have to look it up. This is why you got to put in the reps. I can tell you till I'm blue in the face, which is I want to help you. I want you to be an amazing player and use your vibe, your musicality. But you have to start thinking on a deeper level. So we haven't talked about that enough on here, and let me know if you enjoyed this. But take one chord, break it down, think of every note in there. Just start with an open chord, okay? Take the D, D, F sharp, and A's. Find D, F sharp, A. Learn a triad, learn an interval. Those are just intervals. I played the exact same chord progression, but I didn't stay at the tip of the iceberg. I went below the surface. Growth mindset is everything that helps you become better and better. And then you're creating your own kind of system of music theory on the neck. So let it connect in a way that makes sense in your head. And I know I kind of give you the old school way, but I want to show you that's a growth mindset by me to help you figure out a way that works for you, because I don't know where you are. But where are you in the world? Let me know if you enjoyed this kind of video. I'm going to keep growing this thing with you guys. You're amazing. Drop jellyfish or your favorite sea creature in the comments. You guys know what buttons to hit. I just love helping you guys. That's my biggest passion. That's all I care about in here. And I think you're amazing. Don't stop. Only you can stop you. I will see you in the next video. Peace.